When rewatching our final piece and Feed the Fishes tasks, I was surprised to find out how similar they were to each other, especially in terms of the pacing. This was largely down to the planning that went into factors such as our location scouting, the use of costume, and our use of camera angles, leading to a much cleaner and more professional looking piece. In our preliminary task, we decided upon shots as we went along, based on what we thought looked best. In our final piece, however, we meticulously planned every shot, going as far as to think about the editing process, which made things such as Foley, sound, and credit placement a whole lot easier to deal with. We also improved upon ideas such as the first person POV there. For some reason, our group had something with people walking. The POV shot in our final piece is far more effective and realistic than the one in our preliminary task. This was helped by our decision to emphasize setting in our planning stage, which then I think really helped the use of camera. Here's an example of how similar they ended up being, where our close ups actually match up in the time frame of our films. The Tarantino esque shot was actually something we saw after we'd finished our preliminary task and regretted not having in at the end when our actress opens the case. And for this shot, we had to balance the colour because we'd filmed it on a different camera, so the settings was slightly different. Again, in both films, we have the characters walking off at the same time. In both tasks, we aimed for slightly weird and mysterious vibes. This was definitely achieved better in our final piece because in our preliminary task, our Foley effects were a bit off. I especially like the non-diegetic track we found for our final piece. Also, in our preliminary task, we were just learning to use the camera, so the smoothness isn't quite as good as it should be. And our final piece, we made use of the tripod a lot, so all the shots are a lot more stable. The final car shot we weren't quite sure what to do with, but thankfully we'd filmed it quite a few times, so we had a lot of footage to choose from.